the United Nations Children's Fund. The funds were wired from the account of jailed Russian tycoon Ivan Tretiak. In other philanthropic news, a non-profit research foundation has been established to develop cold fusion technology. Funded with an anonymous donation and to be headed by Russian physicist Dr. Lev Boklin. The E.J. Russell Foundation is chartered to develop...
Light a candle, lay flowers at the door, for those who are left behind and the ones who've gone before. But here it comes now, sure as silence follows rain. The taste of you upon my lips, the fingers in my brain, ever gentle as it kills me where I lay. Who am I to resist? Who are you to face? Got to get you out of my mind, but I can't escape from the feeling as I try to leave the memory behind. Without you, what's left to believe in?
Sport's not a matter of life or death, it's far more important than that. Now on BBC One, Jimmy Tarbuck stars in a one-off comedy. Win or lose, life's a pitch.
Real good grandstand today.
Yeah, it's good fun, exciting.
It was good to watch.
Yeah, Leeds
good
played
soccer.
well.
Oh, hey, the soccer.
Goal down in 2 minutes and came back to win 4-1.
I thought Wimbledon were going to give them a game. They're a good young side, though, aren't they?
I'll have a bet with you. Leeds win the championship in the next 2 or 3 seasons.
Them or Liverpool. And Arsenal had a good result.
Yeah, Henri, good player.
And Beckham's had a good haircut.
What do you think, sir?
Not bad. He's lost a £3 million deal with Brill Cream.
No, that's a bad hair day.
He's got a £4 million deal with Brillo pads. Thong and all. Anyway, what about your lovely rugby?
Oh, what a game in Paris. God, I bet there are a few Irish headaches tomorrow morning.
That's the first time the Irish have scored in Paris since 1978.
What, the rugby team?
No, the Nolan sisters. And maybe Dave Allen. I'll see you, mate.
All right, good luck with the
God
show.
bless. Thanks.
Cheers.
Welcome, thank you, and hello at home. Welcome to Life's a Pitch, the newest, the freshest, the most exciting television sports show in the world. And don't tell me right now you're all sitting there looking at me and saying, well, if that's true, what's he doing there? Over my shoulder, that is my production team, and they're still working on the show. Look at them, typical young BBC people, talented and broke. Life's a Pitch. It's a new kind of show. We'll be asking the big question in sport. Questions like Wales. Wales? If you know the words of Bread of Heaven, can you play for them? Will it keep Mac's voice quiet? Questions like when Johnny Herbert retired after 1 lap of the Australian Grand Prix. Was this the shortest distance anyone's driven a Jaguar since John Prescott's wife had her hair last done? Football questions. Bradford search for a new keeper. Who follows Neville Southall? Vanessa Feltz? Fulham. Chairman Al Fayed is furious. His dog's got a passport quicker than him. Life's Life's a Pitch is about honesty in sport. We'll bring you the plain, honest truth. No rumours, no fibs, just the truth. And if you don't believe me, ask Jeffrey Archer. Jeffrey Archer, who's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire last night, and he phoned an enemy. Anyway. The other thing I've got to tell you about the show is we're online. We're on the internet. We ask people to send us their favourite sports gags. We've had thousands. On average, someone somewhere in the country has been emailing us a gag every 20 seconds. And I'd like to say to Bob Monkhouse, for God's sake, give someone else a chance. But we've had one cracker from Len Lavelle of Manchester. Len's a Manchester City supporter, and we've given him counselling, but he's a nice lad. And here's his gag. It's a good one, this. Question. Why are there more Manchester United supporters than Manchester City supporters? Answer, because their mums were always telling them, keep away from that main road. Good gag. Thank you, Len. Where are you? Come on, gang. We've got a show to do. I need your ideas, your stories. Let's have them.
No need to panic, Uncle Jimmy. Everybody's behind you. John here has been checking the mail because he can do impressions. And there's loads of messages of good luck from all your mates in sport.
Oh, like who?
Well, I've got an email here, in fact, from Frank Bruno. Of course, he's more of an actor than a sportsman these days, so he's used the appropriate style.
Yeah, no, I mean Mr. Tarbrush, you know.
Good old Frank.
Yeah, I'll break a leg, yeah.
And there's one from Vinnie Jones.
Oh, Vinny.
Break both legs.
Yes, dear old Vinny. Hasn't quite got the idea yet, has he? Old habits die hard. Joe, any late news?
Well, there was a bit of a drama at Cheltenham when one of the horses owned by Trevor Brooking wouldn't get off the fence.
Oh, he's lucky. The one I backed fell in the paddock.
There's an important football result just come in on the pager. London Mayor's Cup. Dobson United 0, Livingston Rangers 3. So a convincing win there for Frank Dobson.
Yes, that may be true, but I've still got a voice that sounds like a big bowl of bubbling porridge.
You see? Political stuff. Are you impressed? I am.
Football, football, football. There's far too much football in this show.
There's what?
Too much football. You're deaf.
And now there's more. We're covering the live draw for the next round of the new Football League Challenge Cup. And like everything else in football today, it's heavily sponsored.
Welcome to the draw for the next round of the Tesco Supermarket Challenge Trophy. Mr. Robbins for Tesco will be making the draw for the home team, and Mr. Day for the Football League Association will draw the away teams. Gentlemen.
Thank you. A tin of pilchards.
Grimsby Town.
We'll play a packet of Yorkshire puddings.
Sheffield Wednesday.
A set of big girls' blouses.
West Ham United.
We'll play a gentleman's athletic support.
Oldham.
Some mixed herbs and a turnip.
Watford.
We'll play some French fags and a few Johnnies past their sell-by date.
Arsenal.
A shovel.
Berry.
We'll play a size 42D bra.
Bristol City.
I'm sorry, a size 42D bra and some dog leads.
Collection Bristol Rovers. And that concludes the draw.
No, Mr. Chairman, sorry, there's some more. One more, some soured cream.
Manchester United. Withdrawn from the competition because...
a tin of corned beef.
They'd rather play in Argentina. Thank you, gentlemen.
Dear me. You see that? Posh and Becks have given Brooklyn his first set of golf clubs already.
Really?
Yeah, Wentworth and St Andrews. Cha-cha! Wasn't that a lovely party they gave for little Brooklyn? Fantastic. They should have given him the bumps.
I don't think so.
No, his dad can't count up to one, can he?
Do you mind? That's enough about the Beckham family. Listen, you two, we need something sensational for the first show. Something to make people talk.
Well, we could do that piece on Maradona. You know he's acting now. He's going to be in Evita.
Can he sing like Madonna?
No, he's got bigger tits.
Kevin, please, don't use words like...
What, tits?
Remember, you're on television. I know it's the BBC, but all the same.
If I can't use words like tits, how can I talk about the Leicester midfield?
Hey, Kevin, hang on. Do you realise since Emil Heskey has left them, their most valuable player is Muzzy Izzet?
Yeah, most valuable at Scrabble, I should think. About 82 points on a good day.
Come on, you gang. Something new, something different.
Oh, Jimmy, I've just heard the best football joke ever in the sandwich shop.
Good for you, Lou. So where you go?
It's brilliant. Right, the question bit is, why are there more Manchester United fans than Manchester City fans? And the answer is because their mums kept telling them to stay away from that Old Trafford. Everybody laughed in the sandwich shop.
Yeah, they must be putting something in the sausage rolls.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's not sausage. Come on. We need something different, something new.
Well, we could announce the results of our exclusive survey.
Survey? What survey?
Well, you remember we asked 100 British sports fans who they'd most like to see Mike Tyson fight next.
Good shout. Who did they say?
Hang on. Richard Whiteley.
Well, I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the best fighter, and I would love to fight Richard Whiteley. And I'll give one from the top row and two from the second, and I'll knock Richard Whiteley fuck out.
Concentrate. Concentrate, everyone. What we need is something new.
I think this might do it, Jimmy. I've got this video's just come in. It's from our lip cam. We've had an expert lip reader take a look at some classic sporting moments and tell us what the players were really saying at the time. Lovely. Let's take a look at the results.
In this classic Leeds Port Vale FA Cup clash in '92, Ian Bogey proved philosophical when he missed this chance.
Oh dear, I'm cross with myself about that. Still, it's only a game.
In rugby union, it's often the officials who have most to say because the players' mouths are stuffed full of green gum shields. This example from Clive Norling.
This is your last warning, sunshine. Tell me the name of your hairdresser or you're off.
Now at last we can reveal exactly what was said in 1988 when Mike Gatting had his celebrated conversation with umpire Shaku Rana.
It's 5 chicken tikkas, 6 prawn vindaloos and 11 plain naan. And a table by the window, not one stuck by the bar. And 11 pints of lager. And don't forget to ask the other lads what they're having.
Even in the gentle game of golf, the conversation between famous golfers can be revealing.
Do I look a prat in this hat? Oh, not more than usual. Do I look any better from this side? Not a lot. Who was that prat?
Rascals, that last bit wasn't in at rehearsals anyway. No one's going to believe that. We all know what really goes on the pitch or wherever. I mean, I watch Match of the Day, and I sometimes wonder it's less like football match and more like that dreadful Jerry Springer show.
Hey, there, you guys. Now, I just wanted to take this opportunity of thanking all of you soccer stars for being on the show today and kicking lumps out of each other just for our entertainment. I really do. But hey, on the field, whether you're going in wildly over the top in an effort to dislocate someone's knee or just blowing your nose on your fingers before shaking the hands of the referee, try to do it with a smile. Remember, you're on television. Until next Saturday, take care of yourself and kick the shit out of each other.
Any news apart from football?
I've been looking through the racing pages and I found something really shocking, right? This Cheltenham last Wednesday, they ran the Queen Mother Chase. That's horrid. She's nearly 100.
Lucy, don't you worry. She loves it. It's what she's bred for. 2 false hips, a light tap with the whip, she's laughing.
What about the opposition? Simon, what's on BBC Two?
Have a guess? Snooker, I reckon. There's been something of a development, though. Apparently a new EC directive requires the snooker authorities to expand the range of the sport. So tonight, Gary Richardson is reporting from the Crucible live on the finals of the International Snooker Championships for the colourblind.
I'm afraid that this well-intentioned event has encountered a few teething problems. When the first frame of the colourblind championships began, it was Hendry to break, and he immediately claimed to have potted a red. His opponent O'Sullivan said it wasn't red, it was a sort of orange. Hendry replied the only thing orange was the colour of the cloth, and that all the other balls were mud-coloured. O'Sullivan said, what about the gold one in the middle? And Hendry said that was mauve. At least it was more mauve than the beige, which was positioned just beside the maroon. It was at this point that O'Sullivan hit Hendry with his long rest. Just as I'm handing back to you, Jimmy, I'm getting some news through my earpiece from the Royal Albert Hall. I'm hearing in the World Short-Sighted Boxing Contest, the fight was apparently stopped in the 5th round to save the referee from further punishment.
Good old Gary, the old ones are the best ones. Let's take a commercial break.
Disturbing my concentration, you know.
Sorry.
Yes, well, I am trying to make a model out of a fairly liquid bottle. David!
Oh, come on, say the line.
All right. David, why are your hands so big and soft?
Because I got me golly gloves on.
Oh, bloody hard. Right. You wipe.
It's no improved fairly liquid, you know.
It was improved more than your last performance in goal.
Ah, lemon fresh.
Yes, because you can be a bit of a lemon sometimes, David, can't you? Just do the end line.
Make it your goal and use new improved fairly liquid.
Right, now, welcome back. What have we got?
Well, of course, the England football captaincy's up for grabs. It's a bit of a shame, really. The Alan Shearer felt he had to retire from international football.
Yeah, shame he had to do it halfway through the Argentina game.
So who do you think will be the new England captain? And don't say David Beckham again.
Well, hardly. I mean, if he was captain, Victoria'd start stealing the captain's armband and wearing it as a boob tube.
Should have to take it in a bit.
You're right. I hate thin people. Give me the chubby funsters alive. I salute Neville Southall.
Hey.
Did you see him last week? 16 stone of fun. Look at him.
Go away, Greenpeace. I don't need rescuing.
It was at this moment he caused a total solar eclipse in Tierra del Fuego.
He came on the pitch like a goalie. The crowd shouted out, it's a farce. He said 4 with a bin, 3 with his gin, and 28 more with it. Anyway, go on.
You know, I swerved to avoid him the other day and ran out of petrol.
He made 1 save and it registered 6 on the Richter scale. Let's see what's on Sky.
This is the wide, wild world of sport, and I'm Big Dave Sacknewson.
And I'm Mandy Quim. And we're bringing you the most exciting sporting action this side of a mixed sauna.
Along the way, you'll see the good,
the bad,
and the ugly, quite literally.
First stop, Barcelona, and the finals of the combined National Lottery and Hair Pulling Championships. And there's the winning ball.
Question, who ate all the pies? Answer, these fat bastards at Tokyo's Edfu Young Stadium, where being a prime porker makes you numero uno sumo. In the final, it's survival of the fattest, as one sumo fights against soul singer Barry White.
And from a mighty pushover to an almighty leg over.
Yes, it's the picturesque Tyrolean town of Kratzburg, Austria, and the stilt-kicking marathon. Here we see last year's champion getting quite literally out of his stride. It's a tough old world, on or off stilts. Followed by rugby, and the mighty All Blacks take on their most formidable opponents. Bournemouth and District Bowls Club. Not so much hacker as hacked off, quite literally. Next stop, Morocco, where no money for parachutes means the national skydiving team have to improvise.
More physical jerks now. This Swedish weightlifter came straight from partying backstage at the Brit Awards to the World Weightlifting Championships in his hometown of IKEA.
He soon finds out that the old Peruvian marching powder doesn't half bugger up your snatch. Hey, Mandy?
I wouldn't know, Big Dave. Well, sometimes it's eye-watering.
Sometimes it's inept. But it's always the wide, wild world of sport.
Anyway, time's getting on. Any more headlines in yet?
Well, our kid, here's a heartwarming one from Guy's Hospital. Seems that a young lad has been in a coma for 6 months. They played him a John Motson tape this morning. 10 minutes later, he got up and switched it off.
Well, you really do have to say that's the first time I've heard the Motty turned off gag since a very dull 0-0 draw at West Bromwich some time ago.
Kevin, turn him off, turn him off.
Go, mate, it's a cup of tea, please.
I'll go and brew her.
You see what I mean? These kids can get away with anything. Old jokes, hubcaps, spur wheels, anything. Lucy.
No, I just wanted to say I think it's lovely about Andre Agassi, because I always thought that horrid Brooke Shields woman, oh, she was never right for him, but I think now he's with Steffi Graf and he's going to marry her, I think they'll be happy.
Well, of course he will. He always had a high rate of success with his second service.
I don't understand that.
Maybe now they'll stop all that stupid chest shaving business.
Oh, they are. I mean, Steffi said she's going to use wax from now on.
Don't understand that either.
You will when you're older, love, I promise you. And it hurts. Yes. Over to you, Madame Tussauds.
Grand Prix experts say it's very unusual for a lad as young as 20-year-old Jenson Button to drive that fast.
You're joking. Come up to Liverpool on a Saturday night, I'll find you 50.
Here, Josephine, there's another unusual one here. Anguilla, who is the world's smallest international football team, have just beaten the Virgin Islands 2-0.
What's unusual about that?
A team called the Virgin Islands letting one in at both ends.
News from the football transfer market here. Apparently Dennis Wise will not be going to Celtic after all. It turns out Kenny Dalglish made Chelsea an offer they couldn't understand.
What I said to him is just make sure you keep the wildebeest out of the rhubarb patch.
You go and wash your mouth out, you. Kenny, my hero, I'm sorry. I didn't know they were going to do that. You little...
Greyhound racing.
Indeed.
Now there's a sport we could cover.
Good idea.
Does anyone know anything about greyhound racing?
Kevin, your dad used to race greyhounds, didn't he?
Well, he didn't race them as such. He didn't have room on the mantelpiece for the hair if he caught it.
Yes, that was the Dante, you know what I mean. He used to train greyhounds, take them down. In fact, he used to get into trouble. I seem to remember he got in trouble for shouting at them.
Everyone shouts at greyhounds.
Not sit. And wasn't there one incident with some mustard at one point?
Well, Cambridge, there was an unfounded accusation that he did smear mustard on one of the dog's testicles, yes.
Does that actually make them run faster?
If you put a bowl of water on the finishing line, yes, it does.
Time to look at our coverage of the Six Nations rugby.
We did have the England-Italy game covered, actually, the rugby, but unfortunately there was a bit of a hitch. Lucy made the arrangements.
I don't want to hear this.
Really sorry. I thought it was football.
So she sent Tony Gabba, and I'm rather afraid that the land of wine and song has gone to our Tony's head a bit.
Inglaterra, rugby Roma, Six Nazioni, rampant bellissimo. Italia, totalia classimo, non contesta easy ad appease. I lived in a line out in scrum, grab testiculari. Your name Italia, big bug, a brick shit pie. Giovanni Wilkinson, son supreme. Kick your points, put the scores on the board-io. Greening, body hooker, centauri, flankore, Tindale, a Healy Dawson. Inglaterra, Grand Slammer, odds on. Inglaterra, Grand Slammer, odds on.
Surprise, good old Gubba.
Oh, rugby, it's such a rough game.
It certainly is if you're at the bottom of the pack and some big prop forward's got hold of your Henrys. Now, anyway, as always, Life's a Pitch has a new angle on it. Roll tape, and is that you, Bill McLaren.
It certainly is, Jimmy. These are all rough, tough rugby players, but there's been 1 or 2 injuries, what with tickled ribs, bruised funny bones and sides split from laughing. Let's see how the boys are doing in the league table. At number 6, it's a beefy joke from an equally beefy player, England's Jason Leonard.
This bloke I know started a new job, and on his first day the manager said to him, he said, "I don't recognise that accent, son. Where are you from?" He said, "Canada, sir." He said, "Really?" He said, "Why'd you leave Canada to come over and work over here?" He said, "Well, really," he said, "there's only 2 things in Canada, prostitutes and hockey players." The manager was furious. He said, "Do you realise my wife comes from Canada?" Cool as a cucumber, the young man just turned around and said, "Really? What hockey team does she play for, sir?"
At 5, a joke delivered with the precision of a ball from the scrum by Ireland's Conor O'Shea.
What do you call a hooker with half a brain? Gifted.
Or with an accent from thousands of miles down under, but from Auchtermuchty, Scotland, it's Robert Russell.
A Frenchman and a Scotsman went to a rugby match at the Stade de France. There was 1 spare seat in between them. The Frenchman asked the Scotsman if the seat was his. And the Scotsman said, "Well, yeah, it's for my wife." He said, "Well, where is she then?" The Scotsman said, "Well, she died." He said, "Well, couldn't you have given the ticket to one of your friends?" He said, "Well, I would have, but they've all gone to the funeral."
At 3, who says the French don't have a sense of humour? Take a listen to this little gargoon joculaire from Philip St. Andre.
Yes, it's a young boys going to the police and crying, and say, "I don't want to stay at home, I don't want to stay at home." And the policeman say, "Why?" He say, "Because my mum beat me, my dad beat me and punched me," and he say, "I can't stay at home." He say, "But where you want to go?" He say, "I want to go with the England team, because England team beat nobody."
At 2, they'll be keeping a welcome back home for this fella. He's Wales' own Alan Bateman.
Dai Young, the Welsh prop, was out on a training run. He came to a really wide river. He's thinking, how am I going to get across this river? He looks over the other side and sees Jason Leonard, the English prop, over there. He shouts, "Hey, Jason, how do I get the other side?" Jason looks up and down the river. He says, "Dai, you are on the other side."
And at 1, we say buongiorno to a plucky little Italian, Marco Rivaro.
We're thinking about changing sport, maybe soccer. I've got a joke about it. You know why Manchester United have got more supporters than Manchester City? Because when we were growing up, our mothers were telling us, "Stay away from the bloody main road." I don't get it. We're living in the countryside. There's no main road there. Stupid English.
Now, I need all the latest news, and I need it now. What have we got?
Well, funnily enough, Jim, we've just had an email from Tony Gubber with a bit of the scoop. Either that or he's had that 3rd bottle of Chianti. He reckons Lawrence Delalio, you know, he was worried about being called up for the Italian army. As he got to the airport, 15 Italian soldiers tried to arrest him. He said boo, they surrendered.
Tributes to Stanley Matthews continue to pour in. This afternoon, Leeds United fans held a minute's non-violence.
Right, I've just had this email that I've printed up, and it says, "Police in Torquay have released a man previously suspected of stalking the town's football players. He turned out to be the crowd."
I don't understand that. Isn't she sweet? Well, it's been great tonight here for us, ladies and gentlemen, but here we are with the latest news headlines. Tonight, England manager Kevin Keegan named the squad he believes can win Euro 2000. France. Sorry, Kev. And next week on Life's a Pitch, Manchester United will be showing us some of their silverware, and Southampton will be showing us some of their Tupperware. Final news from the Beckham household. Today, David did admit that his wife, Victoria, has an eating disorder. She likes pot noodle. Finally, here are the answers to last week's quiz. Answer number 1, Jeffrey boycotts vest. And a bonus point if you identified the ferret. Answer number 2, Prince Nassim Hamed, or I would accept tedious little twit. And answer number 3, Chris Evans. The Moonies and the Mormons are cults. question, but let me leave you with this comforting thought that at any moment of the day or night, somewhere in the world, a British tennis player is going out in the first round. Good night.
Jonathan Ross previews this year's Oscars next Sunday. A Film 2000 special is at 10:55. And next tonight on BBC One, Trial by Jury. Could it become a thing of the past? Heart of the matter. Here's the arguments in just a moment.
John, how are you?
Right.
Meet again.
Paris, eh? Fantastic. How's your show gone?
It went very well. We had a running gag through the show. You answer me this, you're good at sport. Why are there more Man United supporters than Manchester City?
Well, they're a better team.
Of course. Smart ass. Let's have a drink.
For live scores, match previews and reports, and your chance to have your say, go to www.bbc.co.uk/football.
Why don't you come with us, have a look round, as it were, behind the scenes?
Get access all areas with Vic and Bob.
Hopkirk!
Top special effects.
It's as simple as that, and not one fart.
Real method acting.
My elephant gun's loaded and it's ready to go on.
And quality showbiz stars. On set with Randall and Hopkirk Deceased, Saturday at 9:45 on BBC Choice. The new entertainment channel for digital viewers.
He was the first black actor to become a Hollywood star.
I thought I'd beat.
Yet he struggled with a deeply racist institution.
Blacks were kept out of the film industry almost across the board.
Sidney Poitier.
One bright light.
Omnibus reviews the arts, reveals the person. Tomorrow, 10:40, BBC One.
BBC Two's weekend celebrating the work of eccentric German film director Werner Herzog concludes now with the true story of a mysterious child, the Enigma of Kaspar Hauser. Now on BBC One, is the jury system in need of reform? Joan Bakewell gets to the heart of the matter.
Trial by jury. The very phrase awakens our sense of ancient rights derived from Magna Carta, by which every man and woman accused of a crime is entitled to judgment by their peers. But in practice, it doesn't work like that. Most criminal cases are heard by magistrates. Many called to jury service evade the call. Now, the legendary right so fundamental to how we think of our system of justice is facing the possibility of major overhaul. But do we scrap it, reform it, or even extend it? Tonight, Heart of the Matter joins the debate, currently preoccupying politicians and the judiciary. What to do with trial by jury? The birthright of everyone in Britain. In fiction as well as fact, trial by jury has focused our understanding of what a fair